Greetings, viewers. This is King H. I want to give a shout out to Danny Green. The comedy sketch are very impactful. It gives truthful knowledge that Cameroonians in general need. You said that the country Cameroon has been sold is owned by China because Cameroon owes China 3 trillion. The Cameroon is colonized by China, and it is absolutely true. When a nation has that much money owned by another nation, then that nation is in slavery. That's a new slavery, neo colonization. Economy, when a country controls your economy, they control the nation. And that is something that French African countries need to realize because when your currency is tied to francs, when French African countries don't own their own currency, they're not truly liberated. They're not truly free. They don't truly own their own sovereignty, their own independence, because their independence is still connected to the colonial master. So French African countries like Cameroon never truly actually gain independence, true independence, because their economy is connected to France. And because of that, French African countries cannot truly grow. The entire nation, entire French African countries are connected to France, and that need to be deleted, that need to be disconnected, that need to be dealt with. And the only way that could be done is when the French African citizens rise up and speak truth to power. So, in other words, French African countries like Cameroon, Togo, you name it, never actually gain true independence because their economy is connected to France. And now, China, that has learned a lot from the Western world, is using the same tactics to recolonize Africa. For example, Cameroon, which owes 3 trillion, as Danny Green stated in his video. But French Africa countries like Cameroon were only concerned about having the son of the president to be the next president, Frank Biya, and they're pushing for it. But they don't know how much money Cameroon owes in China and in France through the IMF and even World Bank because they don't create businesses. They just borrow money and don't make use of the money. Other countries borrow money to use that money to create businesses that could sustain the nation and pay back the debt. But no, French African countries like Cameroon borrow money only to squander it, only to use corruption to steal the money. Many of the Cameroon leaders steal money, including the president. How can a president like Paul Biya in Cameroon, a country that is slightly bigger than a state in California, or the California state, but the president makes more money than the president of the United States that has 50 countries. And if you want to include the capital, you could say 51 plus colonies. But the president of the United States makes 400,000 US dollars. Meanwhile, the president of Cameroon, a small state that is just slightly bigger than California, makes over 600,000 US dollars. Does that make sense? It doesn't. But no, because French Cameroonians are like sheep. just sheepishly following without questioning, without being part of the nation. Yeah, China have complete control in Cameroon as well as France. The citizens of Cameroon do not own Cameroon. They are just slaves to China and to France. And French African countries are as well slaves to France. But this is what the citizens in French Cameroon really care about. There's an article that was written by Bimi Mofo where it was titled Belittle Anglophone Laugh Question Cameroon's Bilingualism. Something like this has happened to many English Cameroonians, where an Anglophone Cameroonian who resident in Yaoundé, the central region, concluded that Cameroon will never be fully bilingual because of an incident that happened to her. And this incident has happened to many English Cameroonians. Anglophone Cameroonian thought Cameroon was supposed to be a bilingual country. Then how does someone refuse to sell to you because you speak English? This is a common phenomenon within French Cameroonians because they look down, they marginalize. The citizens of French Cameroon marginalize English Cameroon. A Francophone refused to sell his provisions because the customers spoke in English. Cameroon is supposed to be bilingual, which means both languages are supposed to be spoken in the country. But the citizen of Cameroon, French Cameroon, has authority to refuse to sell or refuse to do business because you speak in English. Now, just think about the politicians, the leaders who are in power. This is just a common citizen without any political position, without any government position, can tell you, I'm not going to sell to you because you speak in English. But this is the so-called Cameroonness that Ambassador Nagy spoke of, that Southwest and Northwest have a Cameroonness. No, we don't have a Cameroonness because we're English Cameroonians and the French Cameroonians know that. And because they know that, they marginalize us when it comes to how to build a nation, how to progress in a nation, how to live in a nation. They marginalize us. And this will not stop so long as we are part of this so-called Cameroon nation. So, Southern Cameroonians, English Cameroonians, Amazonians, there's no future, absolutely no future with French Cameroonian citizens because deep down they know that we are not part of them and they don't want us, but they want the resources that Southern Cameroon has. And because of that, they are killing us to retain the resources. But those resources are ours and we will fight for it and we will reclaim it and we will create a future for ourselves. Because a future with French Cameroon is enslavement, is Chinese enslavement, is France enslavement, is West enslavement. There's no future with French Cameroonians. And the citizens of French Cameroonians are not fighting for a better future. They just want to control Southern Cameroon and reap the benefit from the resources. But no means no. Southern Cameroon, we came bringing that nation to be part of the federal Cameroon. But they took that away and want only the resources, don't want the human resources of Southern Cameroon. So we would take our human resources and all the resources in Southern Cameroon and control it and create a better future for us. That is the key. And we've, we have started with something that we must finish. All the military bases that in Southern Cameroon by La Republic Cameroon must be completely destroyed, obliterated, demolished. Every soldier of La Republic inside Southern Cameroon will have to feel the heat of war. It doesn't matter where they are, military base, checkpoints all over Southern Cameroon. We must completely eradicate them because they are occupying our nation and they know they don't want us in their nation. And if we are in their nation, then we have to be slaves to them, and we will not tolerate or accept that. This is the truth. Because a common citizen can say that you have to speak in French in order to do any business. And if you don't speak in French, they will not do business with you. But Cameroon is a bilingual country. Or at least it's supposed to be. But in reality, no, it's not. It's a French country, and the minority that speak English are marginalized, are treated as fourth or sixth, seventh class citizen, not even second class citizen. We're not even second. We are pretty much slaves inside Cameroon. But these slaves are revolving. We have revolved, and no means no. And until we gain our true sovereignty and over our nation, this war will continue. It doesn't matter who comes in to stop the war. We will not stop until we have a nation of our own. Because there's no living with the French Cameroonians. And French Cameroonians are not fighting to live as free human beings, just want to be French slaves and Chinese slaves. But we don't want to live that type of life because we are free thinkers and we want to create a nation of our own and be the masters of our destiny. This is King Angel. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.